Let's say hypothetically that your city has come under attack from an alien. Not just any alien, mind you, one that's as big as a skyscraper and carries hundreds of mini-me's on its back. Now, for the sake of the argument, let's also assume that you need to go rescue your friend amidst this. What are you going to do? Can't say? Allow us to show you the way with our guide to surviving Cloverfield. First things first, don't go up on the roof. If it's been a while since you first watched the movie, let's quickly recap it for you, especially the first few scenes that are relevant to all the upcoming strategies. So somewhere in Manhattan, a guy called Rob is enjoying his going-away party with his friends, his brother Jason, and his brother's girlfriend Lily. He's just been elected, if we remember correctly, the vice president of a company in Tokyo. During the said party, which, just by the way, is being filmed by his best friend Hud, Rob gets into an argument with his good friend turned girlfriend turned former girlfriend Beth. Although it's pretty irrelevant, it's for bringing her new boyfriend along. Anyway, Beth leaves the party and Jason and Hud take Rob aside to give him a few lessons on how to be a gentleman, as if Hud didn't spend a large half of the party hitting on a girl named Marlena. Keep her in mind, she's pretty relevant. Now, during their TED Talk, an earthquake jolts their apartment building and causes the power to go out. This moment marks the arrival of the alien. Alright, listen up. At this point, instead of rushing to the roof like the characters, you need to head to the first floor. There are two reasons for this. Numero uno, based on disaster management research, you'll be safer closer to the ground in case of a collapse. And secondly, you'll minimize the chances of being hit by one of those fireballs depicted in the movie. How are we supposed to find out what's happening outside, you ask? Allow us to explain. Instead, take stock of the situation from inside the building. Once you've gone down to a safer level, try to find out what's up by using any of these three methods. First up, try to find an antique tool referred to as a window. It's typically square but might come in other shapes as well. Upon finding one, you'll have to do this thing called peering outside. Like honestly, why didn't any of the characters think of this? Another thing that you can do is turn on the television. From that one scene in the hardware store, we know that they're reporting on the rampage. Now, before any of you point out the power outage, we'd like you to recall that it was only momentary. You can see the lights coming back on when they're heading outside. The street lights outside also affirm this. Coming back to the point, the news will give you a much clearer idea of the events than your own ventures outside. The third thing that you can do is call the authorities and get them to fill you in on things. In case you're worried that there will be no reach, fret not, because Beth's SOS text message to Rob confirms that there's no such problem. The bottom line is, just don't go outside if it's not necessary. Remember that sequence with Lady Liberty's head? Yeah, you don't want something similar to crush you to death. Also, if you could quickly think back to the intro, there are smaller versions of the monster rampaging the city as well. But if you absolutely have to go out like our characters, then make sure that you're fully prepared. Let's tell you how. Then if you do venture out, don't do it without a plan. Here's what you can do to avoid the same fate as Jason, who, in case you've forgotten, dies when the monster destroys the Brooklyn Bridge. Return to your building immediately, or any building that's far enough from the monster, actually. Consider that the internet was a thing in 2008. Pull a map on a computer. Now, all you need to do is find a safe route to Beth's apartment. Since you've already talked to the authorities, you should know where all the evacuation grounds are as well. So find the closest one to her building. Take this safe route, and voila! Get yourself out of Manhattan as soon as you found her. We know what's coming. The characters do this in the film by taking the train tracks, but still run into problems. We'll address the mini-alien attack problem in a minute. As for the train track thing, they don't do it according to a plan. They just run into the subway to avoid being caught in the crossfire between the monster and the military. It's not well thought out at all. This goes without saying, but arm yourselves. Even though you've marked out a safe route for yourself, don't forget to carry all kinds of weapons. Remember those mini-me's? While the monster can't be everywhere all at once, there's a chance that you might run into them. So gear up. Carry all sorts of weapons. Since there are 4 of you, it won't be a problem carrying them. Before you give us the excuse that weapons aren't easy to come by, honey, in the US of A, yeah, we don't think that's going to be a problem at all. The reason why we're telling you to stock up on all kinds of weaponry is that this is the alien's first visit to your city. You probably don't know what's going to take it down, but something is, and it's best to have that something on you. Even if your gear won't kill the mini-aliens, aka parasites, they will 100% help you to divert their attention or hold them off for a while. Anywho, another thing that you can do, especially since you know they're biting and eating people left, right, and center, is, well, layer up. That way, even if they end up attacking you, the layers will shield you against their bite, preventing you from exploding like Marlena. Another good thing about layering up is that it will work to cushion you if you end up in debris or collapse-like situations at the beginning or the end of the movie. Now, don't you dare complain about being sweaty and smelly. What's more important to you, survival or smelling like you've got Old Spice running through your veins? Get a grip. Here's to you finding a bigger, better group of friends. As inhumane as it sounds, abandon the rescue mission. We know we're going to get canceled for this one, but when it comes to a situation like this, it's best to act on it's every man for himself. You're not even sure if your friend survived after they hit send, so you could pretty much be going out on a wild goose chase. If you want to feel like less of a villain for abandoning your friend, you can get an official like a cop or a rescue service to check up on them. It's their job after all. What else are all those taxes for? Unless your friend was a serial tax evader, in which case, just kidding. All jokes aside, we'd like you to remember that A, you're not Superman, and B, it's not like you can't make new friends. Bro, just say a prayer for them and move along. You can unpack all that survivor's guilt in therapy, but for that to happen, it's important that you make it out alive yourself. So what are you waiting for? Go catch that helicopter. Whatever it takes, keep it down. If you didn't give up on your friend and ended up saving them, kudos to you. Now, try not to make the same stupid mistake as HUD while you're on the rescue helicopter. In case your memory is hazy, he starts making an absolute ruckus about the military finally getting the alien. But sadly, it turns out to be false news. The alien is still alive, and his cries of joy cause it to notice the helicopter. Of course, it pays him back for the insult by attacking it. So, yeah, silence is golden. Just zip it. Tape your mouth shut if you can. Eat a wad of cotton. Don't, under any circumstances, call unnecessary attention to yourself, least of all when you're so close to survival. Finally, forget about the camera. Now, if you guys remember, towards the end of the film, after the helicopter crash that is, HUD abandons his camera for a while to help Rob out, but when he goes to retrieve the camera, he gets killed by the alien. Now, we get it. The camera contains proof of their courage in the face of perhaps one of the most profound crises someone can go through. And it's not every day that extraterrestrials visit Earth, but we couldn't risk getting eaten by ET times 10 for any of this, and you shouldn't either. Simply forget about the camera. Just run like crazy. Find another rescue helicopter and leave before they set the bomb off. That's a wrap for this video. Would you put your life on the line for your friends like these characters? Can you think of some more survival tactics for a sitch like this? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. We'll see you in the next one.